depriving of his family is a benefit to me. His wife and children lose, I win, because he goes and does all this extra homework, which I appreciate, and that includes the audio year in review.
Yep, let's take a look back. 2024 is coming to an end. Are you feeling the older you get that it does? Like everybody says, they're like, oh, just the older you get, the faster it goes by. Like it's just
no.
It's gone.
All I've been thinking about lately in terms of a timeline and time span is this is the longest Dallas Cowboys season that I can ever remember.
Oh man, I feel like it went fast.
Oh no. I went back and like last night, I just like went back and I was like, all right, did they play San Fran? I have forgotten. So I heard someone say it yesterday. The Cleveland game feels like 2 or 3 years ago. To me, it does. It has been insanely long and insanely exhausting.
Yeah,
you don't think the Cleveland game, like the Pittsburgh game, feels like forever ago?
I feel like it was just yesterday. I was sitting in that rain delay and then rolling in here at 5 a.m. and still coming on the air to talk, not having to take off just because I worked the night game the night before.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. All right. We just talked a little bit. Let's lead off with this clip. We talked last segment.
This is all from this year.
Yes, this is all from 2024. We talked about McCarthy playing the game a little bit. And I believe an instance of McCarthy playing the game a little bit is what led to the very first audio clip we have here, which is a drop that Peyton has loved to hit this year that listeners may not know the story behind.
Our fan studios secured by DFWsecurity.com. This is Shan and RJ on 105.3 The Fan.
Play the highlights.
Smaller double team this time.
You got to start off with me sounding like an ass. It
was January. It's just when I was looking back through stuff, I was like, oh, I forgot that's such a funny clip because we were in the middle of arguing during the break, and it came up yesterday actually because you were saying it's the angriest I've ever seen Bobby. It was with Will, or the maddest I've ever been at Bobby, and I said no. I think earlier this year when I didn't ask the question, I didn't ask any questions of McCarthy after the first two, was the anger. So the context behind this was we were interviewing McCarthy, and I believe, and I think Sean's come around to this, I don't know that he thought it at the time. I believe that McCarthy's got a pretty heavy awareness of what's being said and who's talking to him.
Yeah.
And so that week, I had asked 2 questions, and I got very short answers. I was like, okay, this interview will not go well if I ask more questions. Like, we're just not going to get as much out of him. So I had just, all right, let me bow out, and I'm going to stay out. But Sean thought I was just taking my ball and going home. And so then when we get to the break, Sean's like, you can't just hang us out to dry like that. Like, I need other questions in here. You can't just walk away from it. And so we're in the middle of, like, talking about that. We come back, and that's when you get play the highlight.
Play the highlight!
The thing that was funny was Sean didn't realize until we got to the break. I actually think it was within the segment. You then realized, I actually never called for the highlight. That's why Peyton wasn't playing anything.
Oh.
And so then you were like, sorry, my bad. I was distracted yelling at Bobby because he was being a jackass. But that was my favorite. Now,
play the highlight. But Peyton, did you expect worse, better, just about working with me based upon what you had heard, or more blow-ups, more tantrums, more anger?
Maybe more blow-ups, but I mean, I knew that, look, if I don't F up, the job's easy. But if I screw up, it gets difficult at times. You expect perfection, and so I expect perfection out of me and everyone else here. So, if I screw up and I get yelled at, then it's on me.
Well, let's talk about Sean's most perfect ad read this year. And it came back in April when Sean was doing a live read for
You're supposed to kick Choppy.
Hurtado Barbecue.
Not me.
And it got a little sus.
The Miho platter, $24 a person, your choice of 2 meats and 2 sides. How about the Poppy? What Bobby calls me sometimes. $28 per person, your choice of 3 meats and 2 sides. Don't get grossed out, Bob. I'm just joking. Or the Hefe. Maybe he calls me that. $32 a person, your choice of 4 meats and 2 sides. Where are you going to get that deal? Briskets, spare ribs, pulled pork, sausage.
I got to know, after the Poppy,
Yeah.
why'd you go back to the well with the Hefe then and say, maybe he calls me that?
I think sometimes when you know that you messed up, you try to fix it and cover it up. Like, let's just make it a bigger joke.
About the Poppy.
And it was just more awkward.
It was funny because it
bad.
did. That's why
It
you
was
said
very sus.
You said don't get grossed out, Bob, because I definitely raised an eyebrow. Now,
Then the sausages.
I think sometimes, yeah, exactly. I think sometimes people think when you've stepped into one or you've walked into something, people are like, oh, Sean didn't even see it there. When in reality, there's a wink and a big grin on your face when you're saying something. And I think that was this example. Another little bit of a sus clip.
Why are we doing this again on me?
This is the last one. This is the last one for you, and then we're going to move over.
Thank gosh.
This is Sean talking about how much I can drink.
Does Rogers call it? How many knuckles?
Right, yeah.
Oh, how many knuckles did you take? Fingers did you take?
Yeah.
How many are you? How many are you taking down? Are you taking down 2 fingers, 3 fingers?
I don't judge it by fingers. I don't ask myself how many fingers am I taking.
Yeah,
I instead
like this, 3 fingers like this, or 4 fingers.
yeah, probably.
That's what they say.
It is. It really
That's
is.
what it is.
really
Yeah.
Well, how many do you think he takes?
Bobby?
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby's
Was this before or after I drank?
Bobby easily can handle 3 fingers.
Okay, so a 3-finger pour.
After I've had 2 fingers. After I've drank the
So you probably take 2, 3 fingers.
I don't know. It's probably like so when I take one of those.
You take 3, 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Typically.
I think at the time people thought you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
But it is still, that's probably my favorite clip there. Outside of maybe one we'll play soon, which is Broadus's impersonation of you when he was at training camp. That one's probably my favorite. Let's go over to RJ Choppy. And RJ Choppy, the man who embraces toxic masculinity.
Yes.
And how much he loves it.
Except in his own household.
Man, and he, I think, really did long-term damage back in June when we were at the Allen Fire Station. And he was like, yeah, I'll do the break down the door test. And he came across looking rather weak.
We've got this steel door, and there is maybe a half by quarter into the door to prevent it from just being able to be broken down. All right, he's being instructed. He's trying. Whoa! Did not break the wood. He bit his tongue. They're literally just asking him to hold something steady at this point. They're telling him to push this thing, and he can't do a damn thing.
Before soda, this would have been the hat already.
Oh.
I had 30 more pounds, but now I don't.
Is there a, now he's trying to kick it. They have cracked the door open even more for him every day. Oh, we might have gotten some breakage. It's like EF2 intensity, what he's done to the wood. He wasn't swinging and hitting anything. He was holding something. Say, oh, there we go.
Hey.
He has broken through the door.
And everyone has died.
Here. Everyone has died in the process. Here, Chop, would you like to say any words?
I need cardio.
And he was massively emasculated when we went to break. No joke, no sarcasm. When we were walking back, he was like, that door was really, like, it's really difficult, though. And I was like, sure, child. It's like, dude, they have firefighters do it. It's part of their training. Like clearly that's something that's not just easy for everyone. And he was like, really, It really got to him, I think, that he wasn't able to do it. So it ate him up. Let's make fun of Peyton. RJ Choppy is a lifelong Catholic, as we're aware. And one of these times that we were playing,
He's a 3/4 long Catholic.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
he's hit the eject button.
He's a lapsed Catholic, maybe. But either way, Catholicism has been in his life, and so the Pope has been in his life the entire way. And we were playing How Young is Peyton Russell back in May, and we should play that this week too. We should play that Friday. I've got some more names to throw at him.
I'm off Friday, but
well, you're gonna call in for it then. This is RJ Choppy just losing his mind, his Catholic mind, when we were playing How Young is Peyton Russell.
Crime, politics, or miscellaneous for the 70s, Peyton?
Let's go back to miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous it is. Peyton Russell. Who's John Paul II?
Catholic guy. Catholic to church. John Paul. That's the name of a church. That's the name of a church.
I don't think he really knows.
With the judges, will we accept that?
Whoa, under review?
I'm going.
Could you be a little more specific?
He's a pope.
Who is like
Double it.
Catholic guy.
$20 in the bank for Peyton Russell.
Count it in the foul.
And a foul. You're like Luca. And one. Give it to me.
Oh my God, Catholic guy.
As he's frantically Googling in that time period.
I did not get a chance to show you. I need to show you the How Young is Peyton Russell from last week, which, by the way, Babe Laufenberg was listening after his segment and was so blown away by the game that then he went to Cowboys practice. And when he walked in the building, he was telling Christy about it, and then he pulled Bront over from Cowboys PR.
Oh, no.
And he started hitting Bront with all the names we threw at Peyton, and he said Bront didn't know any of them either.
No! You're going to out Bront like that? We like Bront.
Alex was worse. Alex was insane, and that's what I need to play for you when we get to the break. All right, we can fit in one more here. Everybody remembers one Reginald Atatula, and he was sitting in on Crosstalk one of these days, and we had played How Young is Peyton Russell recently, and this was on May 30th, and we were like, well, let's throw some of these at Reggie. Surely Reggie will know these. Reggie's a pretty cultured individual. Well, this is Reggie specifically discovering Kirby Puckett is a black man.
Oh, no.
Who's Kirby Puckett?
Kirby Puckett.
Come on.
Kirby Puckett was a quarterback. Pitcher. Damn.
Nope, none of those. None of
Are you
those.
doing a bit right now? No, I legitimately.
Oh my lord!
Go look up Kirby Puckett. Go look up Kirby Puckett highlight catches.
Played for the Twins,
Dude,
involved
it's
in one of the
amazing.
most iconic World Series of all time.
Outfield.
Rest in peace, Kirby Puckett. By the way.
Good job. What have you found out about him?
That he does not look like what I anticipated.
He could get up that wall, too.
That's one of my favorite players, Kirby Puckett. Now.
He became a big fan with one Google image search.
That was awesome.
You know what? Let's jump right in. We're about to talk to Jerry Jones. Let's listen to a man that Jerry Jones employed for quite some time. That's Brian Broaddus.
Oh.
And at the end of training camp, Brian Broaddus was at one time a staunch defender of Trey Lance, if you'll recall.
Yeah.
And we had gotten into we had mixed it up over. I'd said I didn't think he played that much better. It's
Yeah,
not
you
enough
took
to,
a lot of grief for that one, I remember.
it was bizarre how much they were like going off on like, well, he played better. All right, he played better. It still wasn't great. Like
Yeah.
it's still not good enough. And so after we had that fight, I had turned to you when we were interviewing Broaddus during the 840 hit from Oxnard, and I said, Sean, what do you think about our argument?
But Sean, where did you come down after listening to our conversation?
I thought that.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I was thinking you two need to fight more on these shows.
No, I was hoping the
Two
fight was,
idiots going at it.
I was
Not
hoping-
very strong.
I was hoping the fight was worse. It wasn't that
yeah,
bad.
exactly. You were hoping that you'd have to talk to me and go, hey, I'm thinking about posting this. What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking about for the ratings here.
Yeah.
If you and Bobby would if you met with each other and hit each other in the face, that would be better. I'm cooking a brisket. What do you think?
Oh!
I'm using my Thermopin and some foil.
Send this over for G-Bag of the
I'm
day.
making a boat out of the foil. I'm making beef tallow while I'm doing it.
Wow!
I use the beef tallow from some beef stroganoff. I'm thinking about ratings. Who you liking at quarterback, Brothers? I hate everybody you like anyway. Sometimes you're a little bitch when it comes to this stuff.
That was my favorite clip of the year.
That's Big Sarge's favorite. He just tweeted.
He launched it. I remember asking him later. I was like, "You had that prep, didn't you?" He's like, "No, I figured you all were going to talk about it, so I started throwing out some grilling stuff."
Yeah, that was good.
It was good. It was the specificity that was so great about it. All right, we're going to talk to Jerry Jones here in just a sec. So we played that Broaddus clip. Let's keep it Cowboys related. Jake Ferguson, your favorite Cowboy on the roster.
Offensively,
yeah. You like
Overshown.
He's fun.
As Overshown yesterday when Mike Zimmer said, "Well, someone has to want you back to come back." Overshown responded to that Nick Harris's quote and said, "We want him back."
Yes, and so Ferguson though he's always been good time. He rolled up to us on set at training camp while we were still on the air and was just like pumping his fist, like, "Yeah, I'm here, boys." And so he's a great interview. Had a lot of fun with him. But before we got to training camp, the week before, Choppy had taken a lot of shots at the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Over their jump around music. He's like, how great can an environment be if you're stealing somebody else's song? And I was going off about that. And so we decided, hey, you should talk to Jake Ferguson about it. And this came up when Jake Ferguson was telling us that he was playing the NCAA college football game and he had been playing as TCU.
Tell them what you said about Wisconsin.
Well, I was going to say that. Why did you choose TCU over Wisconsin? Is it because you didn't want to hear them play that stupid jump around before the game?
I'll jump over the table right now.
No, you stay right there. I defend you. Stay right there. Short bros. Yeah. Okay, we're short bros. Okay.
That's RJ's contention. He said, if you have to pipe in somebody else's song, how great is your atmosphere? So would you like to say anything different about that?
It's because On Wisconsin isn't a good fight song.
You know, I don't even know what it is. It's the science building that gets the stuff on the Richter scale. When we do jump around, it's a mini earthquake. It starts going.
Yeah, because House of Pain's playing, not because the crowd.
Because the people are jumping. The stadium's integrity is in question.
He's so good.
He
is such a good. That's a dude who, if he ever
He
starts
should be
a
a
podcast,
G-Bag Weekly.
I'm subscribing. If he ever starts a podcast, I'm jumping all over that. You know, people love when you and I mix it up and we get into fights, and a lot of times I don't know that they realize we're taking playful shots, and so. We had one of those examples. We had been apart for, the whole show had been apart for 3 weeks. We had just been alternating time off, so nobody had really been together consistently. So this is back on July 16th, right before we went to training camp, and you were fed up with me having to return and having to work alongside me.
What'd you order?
The cappuccino.
Okay.
Very good.
Sorry, go ahead. Did you have more? Your mic's off.
You think
what's wrong with you today?
This
you come in late. You don't have your equipment.
I was not late.
You don't have an earpiece. You're coughing off. You're stuttering and stammering. You don't have your mic on.
I was not
Wake
late.
up.
I was not late. Yeah, stuttering and stammering just means we're twins now, Sean. That's all that is. So, Peyton, continue.
He went in on that while you were out. He kept talking about how, I guess, an insecurity or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even notice.
He was talking about me
Yeah,
stuttering.
I don't even notice.
No, I did not.
If you could ever have your name first or second on the show and talk as much as I do, you probably stutter more.
Son.
Yeah.
There's a promo right there, baby. Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah. There's your promo for the day. So Tim doesn't have to bust Bobby's ball. That's the last time I take up for your ass too. When you don't, when you want to say something in the meeting, you're too scared to do it. That's the last time I put my neck out there on the line for you.
That one G back of the day a couple times, and I remember Lucius playing it back, and you just made a face at it. Lucius played it back and going what's Choppy doing? Going oh man, Bobby was going off, by the way. He's like, Lucius said, that's Choppy clearly just trying to stir.
That's what Lucius does.
He does.
That's all Lucius does.
Which he appreciates it, but I think he wanted a bigger reaction.
But I wanted to focus on something. I'm like, is this a psychological study done? Is stuttering, did you say, was an insecurity?
No, that's what I was trying to clarify when Chop started saying, boy, he was going in on it last week, saying it was an insecurity and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, that's not what it is. And then that's when you cut me off. We had been talking the week before about Mike brought up, he was doing the impression of you going, woo, 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 woo. He was doing that thing. And Chop said something like, I don't get it. I was like, Sean's talked about it before. That he'll mention his stutter or whatever. I was like, he's clearly got an awareness of it.
I have tears. And awareness, it's not a major issue.
No, but you're aware that you do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying you've talked about it, so it's not.
No, when I listen to Tarico, Tarico will come on this show and then do Sunday night, and I'm like, these play-by-play guys never have a stutter. And I was like, if I got thrown into a play-by-play for 3 hours, I'd be all over Awful Announcing and Barstool and Bro Bible for a stutter count that was put on. It's like a living nightmare.
If you took away the words like and the phrase I think from me, I don't know if I could talk.
Bobby Belt doing the work that has me love him versus the hating here with the audio year end in review.
All right, Peyton, we'll go 23 first. We've talked about Jared Sandler already this morning. One of my favorite clips from this year was when Jared Sandler's so delirious on the West Coast and being in Los Angeles was going to go to a Dodgers game. And Choppy was curious about what he anticipated the atmosphere was going to be like there. And Jared was so jet lagged that he just forgot what FCC rules were.
Tonight, I'll be able to better answer that question when there are 40,000 people at Dodger Stadium and they are batch. You know what?
Whoa, Sandler!
Oh, yeah.
Has it been that long since you've been on the radio, Jared? Jeez.
Did you get that, Peyton? Did you dump that?
Yeah, my bad. I left out the wrong word there.
Yeah. He almost sounds, he would never do this. He almost sounds like he did it on purpose with the, oh yeah, my bad, guys.
He's so polished and he's so prepared and he's so anal. It's stunning. Because he's had like a couple of these incidents over the years. It is stunning that he's such a professional that he slips up like that. You never would expect it from Sandler, but he did it right there.
I just bat bleep. You know what? Oh yeah, crazy is the part that you needed to bleep.
Yeah.
There. Let's make fun of other people again. Let's keep this going. It doesn't have to be about us. We're not making fun of them. Let's hear from them. Eric Chiafalo had sat in with us in July, and we found out that what Eric loves is he loves the same traits in an offensive lineman that he likes in his women.
I think the key is you always got to look. Like you could just tell by the ankles. Big guy, smaller ankles. We're good here. It actually goes even with the ladies as well. Like you're a bigger body, but then you get down to the ankles. You know, you can start projecting out. Just look at her ankles, and we'll tell you what she's going to look like in 15 years. That's just a fact of the matter. If you want to know how big if a big guy can move, just look at his ankles, man. You look at his ankles. I got a big guy, thin ankles. This is a guy that's probably got some athleticism. So if he's got cankle-type ankles, this is a guy who's probably heavy-footed.
So what you're telling me is you look for the same traits in elite offensive linemen that you look for in women that you would like to get with.
When you're projecting out, not get with. This is the settle down type. I want to know what we're looking at in 15 years.
Don't they say look at the mom too with the women?
Yeah, look at the mom for sure. Look, but specifically look at the mom's ankles.
I just see Eric like looking at his mother-in-law's ankles now and like just sizing them up.
I remember driving around listening to that. And the other day, someone tweeted and said, is Chiafalo going on Dancing with the Stars after his show? He was all in here. Hair was perfect. Black button-down, dressy shirt. And Chiafalo responded with, no, I'm actually in the same exact clothes, underwear included, as last night. And I was like, that is perfect Eric right there.
That is Eric in a nutshell. And I respect it. And, he's given us some gold content. Last year he gave us the breast milk story, talking about having to make sure his wife didn't get mastitis. So he took care of things. That was a great story,
and
too.
I felt bad that he tried to guilt me over fantasy football money. Like, I really need this. I think he's got, flooding house floor issues or whatever. And I almost suggested, do you just want to split it? Do you want to not even have the finale and split the pot? But no, I just decided to keep it and let his floors mold.
Yeah.
Sean, you can't split a free league. So
well, and Eric won't split pot. So there's that aspect of it too.
All right, I'm going to come up with a deadline. I'm going to come up with a deadline for all y'all who have not paid the fantasy pot.
Collections are going to start calling here. All right, so there was a awful list we got from ESPN in July. The top 100 athletes of the last quarter century, and it was the worst list. And there were actually, I listened through the segment, there were like 5 different things that I was like, man, I should pick this one, this one, this one. But I thought overall, the one that best encapsulated making fun of it and absurd reactions to things was when we got to number 23 on the list of the top 100 athletes since 2000.
Oh, baby.
23.
Get on the fan cam. Get on Twitch. Get on the fan cam. 23.
Leah Thomas.
Chop, this is for you, baby.
That's not right, Bobby.
I don't even know the joke.
That's not right. Leah Thomas is the swimmer.
Oh, transgender?
Yeah.
Okay. 20.
Breaking barriers.
Shut up. Shut up.
Joey Chestnut.
23. No.
Joey Chestnut.
No, hoops. Men's hoops. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Choppy.
Who could possibly in men's hoops beyond this?
This is an argument I had early on in the show days.
Hang on a second.
With what I thought.
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin, the big ticket.
Shut up.
The big ticket. The big ticket.
Shut up.
20.
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett.
Who has won absolutely nothing is better than Peyton Manning. Go ahead. Are you kidding me?
I thought you were going to argue for Dirk, not freaking Peyton.
Well, we've already established that Dirk is about 40 spots too low on this list.
Kevin Garnett over Peyton Manning.
Who else is on? And Dirk and Bonds.
He was so legitimately angry. That's my favorite part, is that he doesn't get worked up by much.
Yeah.
When it clicked in his head who you were talking about, and he just starts like, no, wait, there's no, and it did make me mad hearing the audio back again that, like, I cannot believe they put Kevin Garnett 23.
Do you feel like you have figured RJ out more or less after this year?
More.
Okay.
I think I got a better beat on. Why? How do you feel about it? You've been around him for so long now, so I guess it's different.
Yeah, I got him down pat. I was wondering about you.
Oh, no, I feel like I've got it, but I mean, that may mean that I have no idea. So if I think I got it. All right, we got 2 more quick clips here. The first one, we had a great time back in September going out to the Live Golf Tournament. They were great to us, and we got a chance to talk to Henrik Stetson. And he was actually a really good interview. He was really funny and great. And so we're like, all right, it's time to show off my golf game to Henrik and see if he thinks I could break 80.
Bobby Belt here has never played.
Nope.
He thinks it really is an overhyped sport in difficulty, and he thinks he can go out there first time.
The side eye. He gave the side
eye. And shoot 80. Henrik Stenson, break down his swing, and look at the technicalities of it, and see if you think he could.
So here's my first question. That sounds like a lot of clubs to carry. So if I'm just going to carry one, which one am I carrying to hit everything with?
Which stick?
Okay, he's not going to break. That question tells me
So here we go.
180.
I'm going to do one of these and kind of just get it, lined up, like do one of these, and then I'm going to come here and I'm going to watch it behind me to make sure it's straight, and then I whack there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put everything I own there, You're not going to break 80 at a putt-putt.
And he was great, too, because when we got off the air, I was like, oh, hopefully he didn't get offended by saying, like, it's an easy sport, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, like, he immediately, as soon as he took that headset off, big smile,
Awesome.
shook our hands, and he was like, that was fun, guys.
Awesome,
and so
dude.
He was absolutely awesome. All right, last clip here. And this is just a good encapsulation, I think, of the show in general. So it's a good one to finish with.
Okay.
This is back in October when we had Matt Petman stop in the studio, and he gave us some of the new
Church.
Hail Mary stuff. And Matt was in here and started just talking about brining a turkey. And in the process of doing that, Choppy and I displayed what children we are and how Shan has to play the adult.
Make sure the turkey's completely submerged. Go an hour a pound. I just say do it overnight. When you pull it out, I do rinse it off because it can be salty.
Yeah.
And then go for it. And it's super, super easy.
What are you pervs laughing at?
We're just listening.
We're listening.
Get these two
Bobby
back.
and I we're children.
We're
Like,
listening.
what? I'm trying to think of the horniness that could have been taken from Matt's description right there.
Nothing.
And what you could be laughing. Brine.
I totally like a good wet brine as well.
We haven't even gotten to the injection. Now you can start laughing.
I know we haven't gotten to the notes
you
about
may not have gotten
Magnum
to it, Sean, but I'm
loads.
already there. Okay.
Yeah, what was sorry, pick back up with you talking about, when you pull it out, you like to wash it off because it can get salty.
Oh. Well. And then the injection. Do you inject?
Yeah.
I love frying turkeys. Man. I'm glad I drove up today.
Have you, because this is a good question for you. You said, have I figured out Choppy? Do you feel like you've been able to successfully navigate and no longer get distracted this year by when Choppy and I just start like snickering at each other? Are you able to power through it any better?
No, I get distracted. Yeah. No. I'm glad, though, that I feel bad when I don't get all the pop culture references, so I'm at least glad that you each have it. You each have the connection.
We only have to giggle. That's all that matters.